Hey guys, what's up? This is a tutorial for the Skyrim any percent hitless route. This is a relatively new route, and I think this will have quite a few strategies that people haven't seen before. In total, the route is about an hour and 45 minutes long. I think that this run here is about an hour and 44. The tutorial will probably be a bit longer in total because I'm going to pause at points to kind of explain how my strategies and the different parts of the routing work. But yeah, so the tutorial should be about that long. This is also a bow-only route, so it counts as that restriction. But this is essentially just because I think this is the easiest way to beat the game hitless currently. I don't think anything else is necessary. Conjuration could potentially be easier in some circumstances, but it's going to take a lot longer as well, so I don't think it's worth it. This route's also no damage, so it's damageless and also hitless. However, I will note that if you step on kind of like a bone or an object in Skyrim, we don't currently count that as a hit under Team Hitless. It only counts as damage. So if you take damage to, a bone on the ground, then don't worry about it too much. But I'll explain where they are on the ground when we come across any, because they're really annoying, honestly. And you kind of need to know where all of the objects are on the ground. Otherwise, you're going to step on something like it's impossible not to. Few other notes about the route. It's using the class Orc, which is definitely the best class for hitless currently. It has the Berserker's Rage ability, which essentially doubles our damage. It's literally a 2x modifier, which is really, really good in the boss fights and for killing any enemies that we need to. An argument could potentially be made for High Elf, because we can use High Elf to sneak through the Farmore Embassy. However, with the current routing, and now that kind of invisibility can be used for so much of the run, I don't really think this is necessary anymore. The only other point to mention is we use the speed up function in the route, which essentially is pressing control and print at the same time. This speeds up the game, like literally doubles the speed. And we use this kind of in dialogue sections and also farming to make the run kind of just a bit faster as well. But I'll explain everywhere that I do use it and kind of why it's okay to use it at these points. So yeah, let's get started. We make a save at the start of the game as well, just after the cutscene, so we don't have to watch that really long, iconic cutscene every single time. That would be pretty tiresome, believe me, if you're resetting a bunch. So we do a jump around Aldrin's wing here. This isn't too bad. You can kind of roughly just watch how it's done there. It's not too precise, and you kind of just have to get a feel for it. And then yeah, we enter Helcom Keep. This is the first point we use the speed up function. So we use it here because this is just a dialogue part. We're going to farm some sneak off Hadvar. We do this by power attacking in the back. I kind of like count to 3 in my head in between his attacks. If you attack him too fast, you won't get sneak levels. Also, I whiffed that one. You can get one more level here.
Got to be a sword or two in one of these chests. Look around. You better get some gear.
So yeah, I'm kind of just counting to 3 in my head and then attacking again. And I get to level 27 sneak, and then attack once more so that I'm close to level 28. I think that those are the levels that are necessary for the tutorial. The only part you need them for is to sneak past the spiders, but the spiders will see you and can technically like shoot poison at you and hit you. So yeah, I think these levels are necessary. If you want to, you could probably just ignore them and just like run past the spiders, but I don't think it's consistent. All of these running sections are consistent, however. It honestly looks like they're not. Like, this looks so stupid, but it works 100% of the time. Yeah, like I literally just run into this guy, but he will never hit you. Like, I'm serious. We take 2 levels in stamina, and then level sneak twice. Stamina is nice to run further, and then the sneak levels help us sneak past the spider.
Where in Oblivion are we supposed to go? Where's the way out? Just give me a minute. Let me think.
Just jump and sneak for this part. You can run past this guy. For some reason, he always just runs away from you. He's still probably the smartest Stormcloak in all of Skyrim, but yeah, that's not exactly a high bar. So for this part, you basically want to wait for the spiders, the big ones, to come down. They're going to path to the right, and then you'll notice I walk forward a bit first, and that's so I'm going to basically crouch jump past this part and then round the corner. I walk forward so that I don't land on this skull here. Excuse me. It wouldn't count as a hit, but if you land on the skull, it can damage you just because of janky Skyrim physics, so it's best to walk forward past a bit first, and then you can jump over the skull. Like that. And yeah. The meter will fill up a bit, but they shouldn't see you. I take the money here as well. Okay, that's the tutorial. And the fastest way to move in Skyrim is essentially to sprint, and then when your stamina is exhausted, wait so it's filled again. So that's what I'm doing when I'm waiting there. I'm just refilling my stamina so I can keep sprinting. And I just hold D and mash space there. You shouldn't ever flow down the waterfall. The floor's emerald here, which you can sell for quite a lot of gold. It will make sure you basically always have enough money at the start. Okay, so now we're going to do the quest line with Sven and Feindor. We do this to get Feindor as a follower, who we're going to use to farm both sneak levels and also archery levels. And the thing I do there is I skip the end of Sven's dialogue by exiting the dialogue and bumping into him, which you can do in Skyrim. There's also a demonstration of it here. I won't know every time I do that, but that's what I'm doing when I'm bumping into NPCs. I'm skipping their dialogue. So you sell everything to Lucan here, and then you buy an Iron Dagger, which we use to farm sneak off of Feindor.
Next time, I appreciate your help. Please, lead the way.
We're also going to steal all of his belongings.
What do you want me to carry?
Mostly we just need his key, because we need to steal more stuff from his house. Specifically, there's a fixed potion of True Shot spawn in here. We use this potion for the first Algion fight, because that's kind of, you know, the part of the run which you're most likely to get hit on, so you really just want to minimize the time of the fight. Okay, so this is the spot that we use to farm sneak. We also took the the stealth stone earlier, standing stone. That gives us a 20% bonus to leveling of sneak, so it's much faster than it would be in the tutorial. And the way to do this is essentially when you're approaching here, press Control and print to speed up the game, and then also change the difficulty to legendary, and then kind of mash space to get up. And then what you want to do is, I'll pause again when I'm up there to explain. So you want to sit like in this forward position. He's going to approach, and then as he's approaching, you want to press S and go backwards so that he keeps approaching. And then before he stops, you want to jump and strafe behind him and land behind him. This should mean he shouldn't turn around. If you mess it up, you will turn around and you have to reset and kind of, you know, not reset the round, but try again to get him up there. You can make him path away from you again by like going backwards on this rock, and he'll try and find another way to you because like he knows you're too far away from him. But yeah, so while he's running over, press S to go backwards and jump behind him, all while he's still moving. Essentially, is the motion that you need to do. Like that. I check my difficulty here as legendary. Okay, and then we farm levels of sneak. And with this setup, it's really quick. Like, this won't take long at all, and it's the only sneak we need to farm for the entire run. So we're going to get to level 70 sneak, essentially. With the setup I do, I usually get to about 71, just for safety. You need to get to 70, but it's no problem if you do get to 71. And the way to know that you're at the right level is essentially, it's going to say sneak increase to 46 on your screen here. That just means you did roughly the right amount of hits. So usually it says 46, and then I hit them a few more times just to be safe. Like that. I de-equip the dagger, change the difficulty back to adept, and start running. I also obviously like change off the speed up function or whatever, toggle it off. There's a wolf to the side here. He can spawn like pretty much anywhere here. If you run over the rock, he'll never get you. Or, I mean, he's got close to me before, but I've done this like probably over 100 times and he's never hit me, so I'm pretty sure it's 99% safe. So I discovered the farm here, and then hit the guard, sheath my fists with R. This surrenders to him, which allows you to pay him a bounty, which will teleport you to Dragon's Reach. We use this trick quite a bit in the run to teleport to different places, saves time. Stops us from having to run through all of Whiterun. Okay, and then we're going to take the carriage to Dawnstar.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride.
And we go to Dawnstar because essentially in Skyrim, NPC merchants have chests which represent their inventory. I don't know if everyone does. But yeah, anyway. Some of them, like, Bethesda just put too close to the ground surface so you can just, like, loot them. So we essentially just loot this poor Khajiit trader's entire inventory from a chest under the ground. Which is just it. It's very easy to find. If you're carrying too much, just sell, like, sorry, drop something that's cheap. Obviously, keep the items which are expensive. So that gives us pretty much all the gold we'll need for the run, once we've sold the rest of the items. You can sell everything else that you've got in that chest. Some things you might want to keep. Potentially, you got given some gear that gave you fortified archery. I honestly don't even bother to look because I don't need it, but it could potentially make the Algin fight quicker. I'm just too lazy to like search in my inventory though, so I sell everything. Also, this route doesn't need lockpicks, but there's an alternate strat you can do in the rat way which does involve lockpicks, so keep them if you want to. Honestly, maybe watch the tutorial and then just decide what you think's best, but I'm going to sell them here. I speed up the game here. It's indoors and only dialogue. We do this quest line with Farengar and Arcadia, who's the alchemist, which gives us a potion of brief invisibility, which is super nice. We're going to get 2 for the run. Plus we're also going to get a standing stone, which allows us to turn invisible every 24 hours. And using all of this, we can do some truly ridiculous things. Yeah, and we also buy Soul Trap from Farengar there. We use that to farm conjuration levels. Now I'm just running to the other merchants. I have no idea how this guard dies, but sometimes he does. I kind of think the preacher guy hit there just kills him or something.
How goes the begging today, Brennan?
That's fine.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you might.
Yeah, so this completes the quest line, gives us a potion of brief invisibility. I'm then going to just buy another one from her for about 600 gold. And then sell everything else, so I'll just be left with the Invis potions and the True Shot potion, which we got earlier. Don't need anything else.
Come back anytime if you need a rental.
Sometimes she won't sell the Invis potion. Just exit her shop and wait 48 hours, then check again. I would really advise it. It's safer to have 2. You need 1, but honestly, like, it's worth it. Okay, so your inventory will look like that once you've solved everything. We're going to switch our standing stone to the mage stone instead of the thief stone, so that our conjuration levels up quicker. This is just going to make all of the farming as quick as possible in the run. Okay, so there's this giant on the ground here. If we cast Conjuration on him, if we cast Soul Trap on him, which we bought from Farengar, it's going to level Conjuration. And we use this alternating with buying archery levels off of Faendel and then taking the gold back from him to level both of these skills. I wanted to mention that in some circumstances, this giant is going to fall through the map and he's not going to be here, which is really, really annoying, but it does happen on occasion. In this circumstance, what you need to do is find another enemy to cast Soul Trap on. What I would usually do is I would run this way. There's like a farm here, and then there's a bridge. And then if you shoot the enemy, across the bridge, there's usually a wolf or like a skeever or something. Drag him across, and then cast Soul Trap on him here instead. You can avoid this situation. It's pretty rare. It's probably only like 5% of the time the giant's not there, but yeah, it's worth being aware of. Also, since we sold all of our items, you would need to go buy a bow from the blacksmith in White's run, but yeah, it's a bit slower if it happens, but nothing too much to worry about. So yeah, we speed up the game here, and yeah, it's pretty obvious what I'm doing, but I take archery levels, I take my gold back from Faendel, because you can do that with your followers, which is, just a lovely little Skyrim exploit. Get up to 80 Magicka, and then we're also going to get to 80 Stamina as well.
I'm right behind you. What do you want me to carry?
Level 17, I think, if I believe correctly.
behind you. I'll show you what I know. Let's get going then. What do you want me to carry? You lead, I'll follow.
Yeah, I'm just casting Soul Tracking and waiting.
I'm right behind you. I'll show you what I know. Let's get going then. What do you want me to carry? Lead on.
And we do this until level 17, which is the point where we're going to have 50 Conjuration and also 50 Archery.
Lead on.
But as you can see, you know, for how many levels we're getting, this is a very quick process. The setup for this run, I think, is about 24 minutes in total, which, honestly, for a game like Skyrim, really isn't too bad. And by setup, I mean, like, after the setup, you start actually wandering through dungeons and completing the main quest.
I'll show you what I know. Still here. What do you want me to carry? You lead, I'll...
Okay, so that's all the leveling.
I'll show you what I know.
We have 50 Archery and 50 Conjuration now, and we can take the perks that we need for the run. We also get rid of Feindel.
I'll head back home if you need me.
I'll briefly explain what these are. So I take 3 levels in Sneak, that's like some amount better Sneak. I take up to Deadly Aim here, which gives me more damage with bow. Take all of these. In short, Silence essentially means I make no noise when I'm walking and running, which is very, very useful when paired with Invisibility. It basically makes you undetectable unless you bump into stuff. It also means even when you're not invis, if there's like sleeping enemies such as Draugr, they won't hear you, so they'll just stay asleep. I also take the Silent Roll perk, which allows you to kind of move faster while you're sneaking, which is useful. Finally, as well, I take the like previous one is the one which means you don't take damage to traps, which is also pretty useful. And I take 3 levels of Archery here for damage. This allows you to slow down time and zoom in. And Mystic Binding makes you do more damage with Bound Bow. Bound Bow is the weapon we're using for this run. It's like stupidly OP and very easy to get. Has like nearly the best DPS in the game for a bow, and all you need is Conjuration 50 and 1000 gold. At this point I'm just going to TP to all of the holds that I need for the run. I find it faster just to do all of them at once.
Traveling, where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. If you've never been to Riften, be sure to visit the Blackfriar Meadery. A few mugs of that and you'll forget all... Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. First time to Solitude? Beautiful old city, capital of Skyrim, but I'm sure you already... Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and
A bit of a skill issue here. I forget where I'm going.
Ever been to Windhelm? Oldest city in Skyrim by some count. They say the big old palace there was built by Ys...
Okay, and we finished this this sequence of locations with Winterhold, which is where we're going to get Bound Bow, our aforementioned weapon for the run.
You there.
This guy's annoying, just ignore him.
You'd have me do what? Join the college?
Cross. The way is dangerous, and and if the more important question is, perhaps, but what? It would seem not just a small test. The flame atronach is a vital. No, or you can try your luck with. Here you are.
So yeah, you're gonna have to cast like a random spell for her. At this Magicka, you'll be able to cast anything. I think Flame Atronach is the hardest to cast, as in terms of Magicka. And of course, just for like team hit list restrictions, I would still count this as no conjuration. Obviously, we did just conjure a Flame Atronach, but it was just for the purposes of entering the college. You know, you didn't use it for combat or anything.
If you would, the summoning of undead. So you wish to master the arcane art?
So we take Bound Bow.
Until next time.
Always sells it when you are above 50 conjuration.
Got the fleet? Suppose so. You've got a deal. It's the one with the saddle.
You buy a horse so that we can run around the map quicker. And this is the final piece of setup in the run, before we kind of just start working our way through the main quest. We are pathing here to get the Shadow Stone. The Shadow Stone is a standing stone that allows you to turn invisible once a day, which is, believe me, stupidly overpowered in no hit. Because, like, we can just wait 24 hours whenever we need to, provided we're not in combat, which means we can, you know, basically always be invisible if we need to be. So yeah, we're gonna abuse the hell out of this. The Crypt Bound Bow. There's a Necromancer guarding this stone. He's not a very good guard, but we will make short work of him. And we got them. Okay, so yeah, that's the set for the run done. We're going to go to the first dungeon here, Bleak Falls Barrow. Oh, I am incorrect. I do one final thing, so I'm going to unlock the interior of Riften, and the reason for this, I'll just shortly explain this. So, essentially, dragons can randomly spawn after a certain quest, and we want to avoid random dragon spawns in all circumstances. If a random dragon spawns here while you're getting into Riften, it's an absolute nightmare because you need to talk to the guards to get into Riften and they're going to aggro to the dragon. But if you do it now, you'll just be able to TP into Riften later. And if a dragon does spawn while you're in Riften, you can just continue with the quest. Like, it won't prevent you from doing anything. So, yeah, that's essentially why we do this at this point. I also set up my favorites here. I take Berserker's Rage,
You have committed crimes
and what do you call it? Number of stuff. I take Berserker's Rage, Shadowstone, and oh my god, I'm completely forgetting. And my potions. And Bound Bow, yeah, the spell, obviously. Okay, so here I just equip Bound Bow and also the Shadowstone. The Shadowstone is that what we just got before, which allows us to turn invisible. You kind of just shimmy left and right. You need to kind of know where you can jump, but it's pretty easy to get the hang of. So yeah, we turn invis here. This is going to allow us just to run past all of the enemies. So you see how strong this is. It makes it completely safe, and yeah, there's just nothing to worry about, and it's super fast. Okay, so we're going to wait 24 hours here. The way that we do this, essentially, is we, like, set it to 24 hours, press enter, and then scroll back to 1 immediately after pressing enter, and it does, like, a quick wait. You know, this is technically like an exploit, but we allow it in the hitless run. It can't be abused in any way to, you know, avoid hits, and all it does is speed up the run, so I think it's perfect. Also, I wasn't in this for wandering past those enemies there. They can't get you. You can just run past them. This guy, we just solved the puzzle. Turn invis. He's going to open the door for us. And then these skeever down here you can sneak past. I've never seen them in a position where you can't. I'm not denying that that maybe is possible, but yeah, it's always been possible for me to get past them. Maybe if you're really unlucky it wouldn't be. Yeah, actually another thing I didn't mention about Bound Bow, I'm casting it in decently specific positions. So spells, and especially Bound Bow, are very, very loud in Skyrim. Enemies can hear them. So what you want to do is you want to cast them away from enemies before you use them. And you also kind of want to wait a little bit sometimes so that enemies don't hear you after you've cast them. It's weird, and like you kind of just have to play and see exactly how it works, but yeah, that's why I kind of moved into the corner to cast it there, so both the spider and also the skeever didn't hear me cast it. And yeah, I'm gonna use Berserker's Rage here, which is my fork ability. Allows me to one-shot the spider. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, this room is absolute hell for damageless. There's a bone here. There's a bone here. There's probably some over here as well. But these can be in like any position. If you step on them, you can take damage. And also, like, they're so glitchy. Like, sometimes you can just be, for example, you could jump and be like here, but this bone would still damage you. So like, just be very slow, jump a lot, and just try and stay away from them, and you should be okay. I don't often get hit here, but it's because I do it so, like, carefully. I wait here to reset my stamina. This is a good example of how good silence is. So all of these Draugr wake up usually, but because they can't hear me, they don't. Can wait here again. This Draugr won't catch you, you can just keep running. And I wait 24 hours here to get my Shadowstone ability back. You can actually run past that Draugr without invis, he'll never see you, but it's may as well use it since we have it. What we actually want it for is this enemy here. If you don't cast invis, you have to kill this guy. You know, it's like a few seconds faster just to run past him invis. "24 hours again so that we can reset invis. And just use invis to run through this entire room. You can jump around this corner. So we're coming up to the boss of Bleak Falls Barrow. Boss in parentheses, this is like very, very easy. We're just going to cast Bound Bow as we run up, and then Berserker's Rage as well. And we're going to two-shot him. He starts waking up when you activate this Wild Ball, so we just run around the corner, cast Berserker's Rage, shoot him as he pulls out his weapon, and then shoot him again. And that's it. I take the gold here as well. You don't need any more gold for the run. Literally one time my horse just despawned and I needed another 1,000 gold and I didn't have it. And that like really, really pissed me off. So yeah, I try and take gold when I can. Just like on the contingent basis that Skyrim is just immensely buggy and, you know, anything could happen. So you may as well have the gold if it's easy to get. Yeah. This potion spawn that I pick up here is randomized, so it could be anything. So I take it just in case it's like a true shot potion. I speed up the game here. I'm just waiting to reset my Berserker's Rage for the next boss fight.
So, you were at hell, but it's none of my I should have guessed.
I do that trick again. This is just to skip the Jarl's dialogue. It's quicker by a bit. Not a lot, but it's worth doing.
Let's go find Farengar.
Divine.
I think I found someone who.
Well, when I straight to the, I go to Bleak Falls Barrow. Ah,
Farengar.
Yeah, you want to time it so that this boss fight is still at nighttime. It's going to be easier to get sneak attacks on the dragon at nighttime.
No, get back. It's still here somewhere.
Cast Berserker's Rage. If I remember correctly, I just absolutely whiff all of these shots. If you do get one of them, it's going to do like 60% of his health if it's a sneak attack. This isn't, so it only does like a tiny bit. But yeah, that was pretty pathetic. But it's still going to be super quick anyway. Berserker's Rage is just really strong, it makes us do so much damage. And yeah, this spot I'm standing in here is a safe spot. We basically come to here while the dragon's flying, and then when we listen for him to land, it makes like a specific sound that I was probably talking over, but you can hear it in the game yourself. Then we can attack him. That hit was pretty greedy, but it's safe. This was really annoying. I thought he was dead, but while in this animation he can't take damage. He does it twice. Okay, so now we're going to go to High Hrothgar, which is the next location from the main quest. And while we're running here, since it's kind of like a dead air section, I'll kind of explain how the random dragon spawning system works. So, from after this quest, dragons can randomly spawn in the world in different positions. It's not quite this quest, it's essentially when the Greybirds scream to you, they like shout at you, which is going to happen basically when we're at the top of High Hrothgar here. And I think it's 3 days after that point they can spawn randomly. So we're basically doing this so that we time it, so, you know, like, that happens and then we immediately are at High Hrothgar, and we're going to do all of the next quests so quickly that dragons can't spawn. And then we get to another point in the main quest, just before the second dragon fight that you do at Kynesgrove, which has another trigger which stops dragons from spawning again. So we're going to abuse that to then do a bunch of the other positions, the other, like, quests in the main quest. But yeah, we, like, chain together times when dragons can't spawn, basically. I'll explain it more, like, as I get to those sections. Yeah. Discover High Hrothgar here. We're also going to go to the Freight of the World, which is where we fight Alduin the first time. You can do this neat horse parkour. That's the Greybeard scream that I was talking about. Essentially, yeah, that's the trigger for dragons being able to spawn. But I don't think they can spawn for 3 days, essentially. So, like, you have a 3-day leeway. I'm not really explaining how to do all this horse parkour. Kind of roughly copy what I'm doing, or find your own way to do it. It's yeah, it's just, you know, like a lot of mash and jump and moving back and forth. It's not exactly very elegant. So this dialogue section, I'm going to really abuse the bumping into NPC stuff. I won't explain exactly what I'm doing, but you can roughly copy this, or, like, if you want to do it even quicker, just watch the any percent glitch for speedrun, because, like, they do it way more efficiently in that than I can. Fortunately, we use the speed up function though, so, like, ours is actually faster. So yeah, obviously I'm speeding up the game here. I actually missed this one. So I favourite Welcome Sprint and also equip it. I like to have this favorited because I use it to speed up run at points, so it's nice to be able to quick it quickly. Okay, and then the only other location I didn't travel by carriage to earlier was Markarth. But the reason for this is carriage is quicker than fast travel, so we can get to Markarth as quickly as possible, making sure that a dragon can't spawn. I also wait slightly here and spawn a courier.
I've been looking.
He'll always spawn here if you do it like that.
Just like that's it. Got to go.
And we want to spawn the courier because we don't want the courier to spawn while we're fighting the cultists.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
So the cultists are from the Dragonborn DLC. I think they technically spawn after you kill the first dragon. I think. Yeah, I think that's how it works. But essentially, yeah, if a courier spawns while we're fighting them in Riverwood, it can be an absolute nightmare. So we want to get out of the way there. There's one other courier spawn in the run, and I will show you when I get it. So this is the pathing to Ustengrav, the second dungeon of the run. Yeah, with the mud crab here. He's never hit me before, but you probably can. And that would be pretty sad. There's enemies outside here, but if you sneak like this, they won't see you. I immediately cast Bound Bow when I come in here. And I roll twice and start firing at the enemies, but I get this weird bug here, like I'm stuck. This doesn't usually happen, obviously, and it goes away, luckily. Yeah, the enemy starts pathing. If you do it quickly, he won't. I also miss my shot, because I suck. You need to kill the two necromancers here. The other necromancer has a bunch of thralls. They all just die automatically when you kill the necromancer. So what I'm doing here is kind of useless. You just need to kill the one. This one here. Yeah, he also does like matrix dodge. NPCs in Skyrim can just like zoom and slide to the side. It happens pretty rarely, but they do it to like dodge arrows. Oh, Berserker's Rage here to just kill the enemies in one hit. Nothing aggro here. They're fighting with each other already. And then you can run. What I was saying about objects on the ground earlier, it only applies to objects kind of already on the ground. So, like this sword here, because this Draugr was holding it, it's technically in his inventory. So, like, there's no collision on this. You can just run right over it. As I do that. With another arrow. Okay, and there's like a short skip here. Saves 10 or 15 seconds maybe, but it looks cool. So of course we have to do it. That's just with well-run sprint, by the way. The sprint we armed before. There's an enemy around this corner. No matter how close he is to you, he will not aggro. So don't worry about him as long as you're sneaking. There you kind of want to hold S and be careful. You can take full damage or even die. But yeah, just do it how I demonstrated there. There's spiders that aggro to you from that bound bow, but they're going to die to the traps on the ground. Like, all of this area on the ground here is like a fire trap, but we have the sneak perk, which means we don't take damage to them. Like, they don't activate when we go over them. Okay, here I cast Invis and just run. If the spider gets that close to the trap, I would advise killing him. Because I've had some weird glitch happen before where the like trap activates on the spider but then goes to me even though I have the sneak perk. So yeah, usually you don't have to kill the spiders, you could just go Invis, but if they move towards the traps, I think it's advisable to. I wait 24 hours here to get my Berserker's Rage back, because I'm going to use it on the cultists after this dungeon. The wildland sprints are just to speed up the run. I use them in kind of safe positions. You want to wait here till it's about 2 PM or afterwards, just so that when you fast travel here, enough time has passed that it's nighttime in Riverwood. This will mean that the cultists can't see you as easily, which is going to help you get a sneak attack on them. Essentially, it's darker at night, so NPCs can see you less. Pop Berserker's Rage. I would be very careful here. Don't shoot an NPC, so wait until they've passed and then shoot. And then, yeah, kill these guys. And yeah, it's that simple. I speed up here. This is just a dialogue section.
I'm the attic room, eh?
Either I'm drunk
Well,
or
we don't have an attic room,
simply
but
both.
you can have the one left. So you make yourself.
I think
we need to talk. Follow me. Close the door. The Greybeards seem to think you're. I hope. I just handed you the horn of. I didn't go. I am not your enemy. Like I said, I'm part. If you really are Dragonborn, we remember you're the. Can you do it? Good, and you'll have a chance. Dragons aren't. They weren't. Now something's happening to bring them back. I figured we're going to go there, and your Kynes Grove. I need to get into my traveling gear.
This is the quest trigger that I was talking about earlier. Essentially, this stops dragon spawns from happening in the world at this current point. No dragons can spawn randomly, so we're going to do a bunch of other quests at this point to essentially eliminate positions where dragons could spawn. First, we go to Winterhold. We're essentially going to go to Septimus Sigmus's outpost, get the items we need to go to Blackreach. Then we're going to go to Blackreach and get the Elder Scroll. And the reason for this is there's a dragon spawn in Winterhold, but if we do it in this order, the dragon can just never spawn. So that's like super nice for consistency on the run. And after this, we go to Markarth. We go to Skyhaven Temple. There's another dragon spawn at Skyhaven Temple, but once again, if we abuse the fact that dragons can't currently spawn, then yeah, we avoid that completely. You run over the top of this, it avoids time in the water, so it's a bit quicker. Speed up the game here. Anything to avoid as much of Septimus Sigmus's dialogue as possible. This guy's annoying, I wish I could kill him, but unfortunately Bethesda decided to make him essential.
Well, on the cosmological... one block lifts.
That sounded kind of psychopathic, but
In
I
the-
mean, he's really annoying.
Have you heard of but not all to the edge? Trust set
Bro is just yapping as well.
knows.
Like, he could have just given me the items. So now we go to Alfland, or I don't remember what it's called, but that's how we get to Blackreach. I do pretty specific pathing here, so I would also advise doing this at nighttime, which I'm not. But so yeah, down on this hill, there's like 2 enemies fighting, and they can aggro to you. But if you kind of path all the way up and around, you should always avoid them. So yeah, I'd really advise doing that. But yeah, enemies can see you less at night, as I think I've said, so it's probably a good idea to do this at nighttime. Here, there's an ice wraith to the left and wolves to the right, so take this exact path and they shouldn't see you. It's not that precise, but like, obviously don't deviate massively from it. Alftand? I guess that's how you say it. Honestly, try and pronounce Duema Ruins Challenge Impossible Edition. They're like always so weird and esoteric. This one's probably one of the easier ones. There's a lot of objects on the ground that can hit you at the start here. So take this path and you'll avoid them. These campfires both have like objects with collision on them. So all of these next running sections, technically they're all safe without invis, but we have it, so we're going to use it. Just like the initial any percent I did in this was without invis, and like all of this running's still safe. But yeah, a Duema spawns from here, so we're gonna use invis just before it, and then start running. Jump over the pickaxe, it can hit you, or you can take damage. Like I said, it's not a hit, but it is damage. Yeah. Ooh, very, very safe and secure, even if you mess up your pathing a bit, because you have invis. Wait to get your invis back. A dwarven spider spawns there, but you're too quick for him. This one won't aggro because you have silence perk, he can't hear you. I would kill this one. I don't know any way to run past him. So, as you've probably seen throughout the run, opening or interacting with objects breaks your invis. So we open that door before we turn invisible, so that we can stay invis here. This guy does aggro there, which I've never seen. This is the only time I've seen that, but he doesn't, like, attack or anything. He just, like, knows I'm there for a second. Probably just get too close to him. But you can wait here for 24 hours. Pathing basically avoids all the enemies. Also in Skyrim, just interestingly, so there's like NPC modifiers. One of them is blindness. I think Falmer have like either 100% blindness or like close to 100% blindness. So as long as you're not making noise, like they literally just cannot hear you whatsoever. Which is like, is really, really nice to be fair. You can sneak right by them. So we use Whirlwind Sprint here to get to the cliff face. Then we immediately turn invisible. It's gonna say you're detected, but you're not. No enemy is gonna aggro to you here. And then you can wait here again. Once again, this shows like how blind the Falmer are. You can just sneak right by this guy. There's two Falmer roaming around in this room. But like, as long as you don't bump into them, they're not going to see you. I don't bother using Invis here. I just sneak and use the roll.
Let's just get out of here. Hasn't there been enough death?
I use Invis here. There's a Dwemer sphere off to the right, but if you use Invis, he can't see you. From this point, you're pretty much safe. Now I'm just going to use a combination of sprinting and whirlwind sprints to get to the end of Blackridge as quick as possible. This area is so cool. I think this was like my favourite area when I initially played the game in like 2011. I use Whirlwind Sprint here to get over this gap. It's just a bit quicker than running around. Like a 15-second time save maybe. Yeah, in general you can just copy like where I'm waiting and where I'm using Whirlwind Sprint if you like. But I don't really know if it's like fast as possible. Like I feel like someone could probably route it quicker. Honestly, like your best bet would be just to copy exactly how he does it in the 80% glitchless speedrun. Like that's roughly what I do, but I don't do it very well. I speed up the game for this puzzle. Okay, so now we go to Markov. This is also the point in the run that we get the second and final courier. He's going to spawn pretty much immediately when we get into Markov. If he doesn't, I'd recommend just like waiting in real life for a few seconds and then waiting in Skyrim for an hour. I get off the horse here because like I'm like, oh, I gotta wait for him.
I've been looking.
And there he is.
A letter. Looks
And then
like
I'm
that's
going to
it.
wait 24 hours to reset my sneak ability again. Sorry, my invis. the other 12 hours to make sure it's nighttime. It doesn't have to be nighttime, but like I've said previously, it's usually safer to do running sections at nighttime. There's no enemies that spawn here per se, so like, honestly this is pretty unnecessary. Like, the only thing that could happen would be, you know, like some random event, like the Dark Brotherhood assassin or whatever, but yeah, that can happen like anytime. So yeah, by Skyhaven Temple here, there's another dragon spawn that can happen randomly. That one's really annoying. So doing it at this point in the run means no random dragon spawn. Yeah, I really can't reiterate how nice it is for consistency to just eliminate pretty much all the positions dragons can spawn in. Yeah, with this route, the only place that they can actually spawn that's annoying is Riverwood. Turn invis here. And no need to use invis for this part. You can just sneak behind this Briarheart. Its pathing is always the same. Okay, and then we have Skyhaven Temple skip. I mean, I actually don't know what it's officially called, but that's what I call it. It's pretty easy to do when you practice it a bit. And also saves like actually quite a lot of time. It skips like a whole puzzle. Okay, so now we're going back to the actual order you're meant to do the main quest. This is the second dragon fight, Salakadir. After this, dragons can randomly spawn. But we've done so much of the run now. Like, it's not that many places they can actually spawn left that is going to cause us any kind of harm. With Berserker's Rage, we're literally going to two-shot this guy. Wow, what a boss fight. Also, Aldrin just disappears. Like, where does he go? Look. It's so weird. I speed up the game here. This is just dialogue now. Also, like, Delphine sees all this happen, right? Like, she sees Aldrin spawn the dragon. And she still thinks, oh, it must be the Falmer. Like, what?
Now that dragons are coming back, the Thalmor are.
I think she's just racist.
Nothing. The Empire, and now that who else gains from that but the Thalmor? If we problem is that place is. I'm not sure.
This is position number 1, which a dragon can spawn. But would, you know, be a little problematic. While this is going on, I'll essentially explain what you want to do.
What
You want to turn invis immediately and run to this sleeping giant in here. At this point, you can wait inside to get back your invis or to get Berserker's Rage. And then really you have two options. You can cast Bound Bow while inside, and then go back out and fight the dragon by the doorway. You probably want to wait till it's nighttime to do that as well. He's not going to take very many hits with Bound Bow and Berserker's Rage. You're going to kill them very, very quickly. But I still think that that's sometimes too dangerous. So the other recommendation would be just to cast your invis while outside and then sneak away. That will usually work, to be fair. But sometimes the dragon can follow you. I've seen that happen a few times, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I'd recommend. I kind of just do it on a case-by-case basis. But yeah. And additionally, also, when you get outside, you just always want to check if you can wait. If you can wait, you can fast travel. And sometimes the dragon will be far enough away that you can fast travel. So that's really the one to check immediately.
That would be a bad idea. I can get you. I have a contact.
Yeah, and also, when you're sneaking away from the dragon, do not run. It's buggy. You need to sneak. Like, otherwise the dragon sometimes will just still know where you are, even though you're invis. It's strange, but like, yeah, just trust me, like, sneak. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Farmer Embassy. Punch the guards, get in Solitude.
Have you heard? There's been another dragon attack. Kind's Grove this time.
The guy getting executed here drops an Amulet of Talos, so we're going to wait for this to happen. I speed up the game here because it's just like, you know, nothing's really going on.
You should tell her that her uncle is scum that betrayed his high king. Best she know now.
Rogver, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city, opening that gate for Ulfric. You betrayed the people of
There
Shorn.
was no murder. Ulfric challenged Toric. Such is the High King in fair combat. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
On this day, I go to Sovngarde.
They do aggro if you go up here too early. They think you're like interrupting the execution even though he's already dead. So I wait until that guard moves.
Good riddance to bad luck.
Okay, and then Malborn's the one that smuggles your goods in. All you need to give him is your gold and your potions. If you have lockpicks at this point, also give those.
Give me what you can't live with. Okay, I'll get this inside the embassy for you. I've got to go. I'll find you at the party. Don't worry.
But I don't have them, so I'm not going to give them to him.
Feel free.
Your job.
Have you given Malborn the gear? Good. But the only, which means when you're ready.
So equip the party gear and also the Amulet of Talos at this point. We're going to keep the Amulet of Talos on for the rest of the run.
I guess I will. Ready to board the carriage to the embassy? Don't worry. Just make sure.
I've been told, apparently, that a dragon can actually spawn while you're at the embassy. I've never seen that happen, but yeah, I believe it can. I have absolutely no idea what you would do. Honestly, the run would probably just end.
Welcome to the Tholmor.
Because, like, you couldn't get inside, so you're kind of just screwed. I speed up for the party section here. This is just like a lot of bumping and dialogue skipping.
So sorry to interrupt. Do I have your permission? Hey, watch this! Yes, Madam Ambassador. What can I get for you? You made it in. Let's hope we both live through this day. Here you go, man. Is there anything else I can get for you? Farewell.
What is it? Allow me to introduce. If there's anything
This guy's an absolute legend.
is stand back and behold
Yes,
my
what do you need?
handiwork. Attention, everyone. Could I have your attention, please?
Let's go. Let's go. Before anyone notices us.
I speak figures. Our mistress. Nothing would be more unlikely than that someone would actually want her in their bed with her. But again,
So far,
Okay, so get your gear. Open the door because you can't open it after you turn invis. Wait 24 hours to make sure you have your invis.
he saw us slip out.
I also unequip my party gear.
We need to pass through the kitchen.
That's Bambo. Like I said earlier, Bambo makes noise, so I wait for like 8 seconds after this to make sure there's no like residue noise, I guess. It's really weird how it works, to be honest, but I would advise doing it this way. It's the safest way to do it. So I wait a while here.
Just stay close and let
And then I always sneak while invisible. I think that like 90% you'd probably just be fine. You don't have to do this, you could run, but yeah, it's a scary part of the run, and like, I don't lose too much time doing it this way. I kill this guy because he paths outside into the courtyard, and I'm scared that he would just somehow see me while I'm sneaking, so I think it's better to kill him. Okay, so here you wait for 24 hours again. Then you turn invis. And then I'll explain before this happens what I'm about to do. So this guy, when you're opening the door, is going to make you not invis anymore, and he can see you. But it's a low chance, but he can see you. So I'm going to press E to open the door, then immediately press Q to open my favorites menu, and then drink a potion of invisibility to make me invisible again. So this essentially means that I'm only visible for like, I don't know, like basically no time whatsoever. So yeah, that should mean that I'm completely safe. See how I do that? I open the door and then immediately open my favorites. And then yeah, I'm also invisible now when I'm through the doorway. Yeah, I'm really happy with that strat. It works super consistently and it's very safe. And quick. Cast Bow again, you will get a notifier that you're visible, but you're not. This is the part I'm not super happy with. This guy, like, he's usually up here, but like, sometimes he's way too low down. He's too close at this point for me to shoot, and he's seeing me, so I drink the potion of invisibility. That's why you buy the other one. And then he'll always path over to the table over here and sit down, so you can shoot him here. But, yeah, honestly, someone should probably reroute this room, because I don't think I do it very well. The trigger for the next enemies coming in is reading the dossier on Esbern. So we read that. I kill Malborn here. It's more consistent to kill him. Like, the enemies always do the same thing now. This guy's going to do a weird spinning thing and let you kill him, and this guy's going to run down the stairs. So sorry, Malborn. Like, you died for a good cause, honestly. He does the Matrix juke, but yeah, it's fine. And we need to loot his body to get through here because he has a key on him. So like, it's totally necessary, honestly, for him to run down. It's quick. It's much quicker. That well run sprint is to avoid a frost troll there. At this point, you go to Riften. Here, I'm going to go to Whiterun. And the reason for that is I just used the other potion of invisibility, so I don't have any on me. And it's just a good idea to basically always have one on you. Just in case you know you mess up any of the strategies, you can just go invis and forget that you even messed them up. That sound is a dragon spawning. But as you can see here, it's not actually a problem.
Give a holler if you... What do you need, my friend? So you're interested in my potion?
So I just do the thing where I check if I can fast travel, and I can.
You might
So
take a look.
it's fine. If I couldn't, I would go invis and try and run somewhere that I can.
Good day.
Because I don't know of a safe spot to fight him in Whiterun. I wait here to get my invis back just in case I need it. But it's fine, I can wait, which means I can fast travel. So this Khajiit here, she doesn't always spawn. She's like a Balmor agent, so you want to kill her if she does. If you don't kill her there, she's still going to be there when you go outside, and she's going to like aggro to Esbern. It's going to be really weird. Okay, so this is the new strat for me not needing lockpicks. I kill both of these guys. And then I cast Berserker's Rage. Then I Whirlwind Sprint across. Then I turn Invis. And I shimmy around. And the lowlife is going to aggro because he heard the Whirlwind Sprint. But he's not going to reach you before he loses interest.
I guess I was just hearing things.
My problem is, like, a lot of different things can happen here. Like, sometimes the lowlife attacks the Skeever. He doesn't in this case, so I also have to kill the Skeever. Sometimes the lowlife just paths another way as well, like he just goes down another path. But I think it's the best strat. If you don't want to do that, get lockpicks. Like, don't sell the lockpicks that you get from the Khajiit Dawnstar chest. And then just open the doorway that's like to the side there. There's an expert door that you can just pick the lock for. But that way is like a bit quicker, and I think it's better, because sometimes you won't get lockpicks from the Dawnstar chest. And then you have to buy them somewhere else. These enemies always do the same thing. That's 100% consistent. Pick up these items because if I step on them, they could damage me.
Go away.
And I speed up the game here.
No, that. Oh, how rich. What? You'd better come inside. Quickly now.
Downward agents have been seen.
This'll just take a moment. This one always sticks. Only a couple more. There we are.
So Esbern's dialogue here. Once it's finished, if you're clicking on Esbern and you mash E 4 times, you'll skip the thing where he kind of dilly-dallies around the room and looks for all of his belongings, which is a very good idea, to be honest, because it saves time, which means that the NPCs in the next room that you fight are in more consistent positions. However, I mess it up here. It's fine if you mess it up. It's not a big deal.
One moment. I know.
It'll be done in a second.
Well, I guess that's good enough. Let's be off.
But yeah, you can skip that entire thing. You just need to, like, press E a bunch of times on Esbern when he's done. If you're extremely slow, and the Falmor wizard will have come through here already, but as long as you do that pretty quickly, like everything I just did, then he shouldn't be through yet. I've never seen him here unless, like, I've literally just waited in the room for a while. And then if you're really quick, then you get that thing on Esbern where you skip his movement. Pretty much always, both of them are going to be here. Like, there's two enemies here. So there's a wizard and there's a soldier. They're both going to be walking through here. If you're very slow, or like somewhat slow, they're probably both up here. In this case, weirdly enough, one of them's here and one of them's here. Really, they can be in 3 positions. They can be here. They could be here inspecting the body, or they can be, like, over here. So in this circumstance, the wizard's here. I think the soldier is here. You really just want to pop Berserker's Rage in this position and shoot both of them. They won't see you.
Someone will suffer for this injustice.
Guy is totally oblivious. That like ore thing that's leaning on the side of the thing there does have collision. Do not run into it, it will damage you. Same could be said about this skull. I didn't explain all the objects on the ground in the Ratway because there's a lot, but I think, yeah, you'll get the hang of them. You just need to kind of run through it a few times. This is the second place in the run where a dragon can spawn and cause you issues. And it does. You can tell immediately, because Esbern aggroes. You can also see the dragon here, but like the quickest way to react would be this guy is aggro to something. It's most likely, I mean, 100% it is a dragon in this situation. So, as I said before, you want to turn invis. And run. And now, fairly sure I'm going to be able to fast travel away because I see the guard put his weapon away. So I know that that guard isn't aggroed. So I know it's quite likely that at the doorway I'm going to be able to fast travel because there's not going to be an enemy nearby. I speed up the game, and this entering an X thing skips dialogue, essentially. We're just waiting for the next quest pop up. So I check. I can fast travel. If I couldn't, I probably would have had to sneak away. Next section is just a lot of bumping into NPCs. I won't describe all of it, but it's worth optimizing it a little bit because it's very slow if you don't.
Try using your blood on the carved seal.
And if you want to optimize it more than I do, then that's like definitely possible. I would just give the any percent glitchless speedrun a watch. They do it like way more efficiently than I do.
We're here for...
Yes, of course.
Esbern.
Yes. Look. Aldrin.
So does it...
Patience, my dear. The Akaviri. Yes, yes.
You mean they used a shout? You ever heard of such a thing? You're probably right. Right.
So that's Skyhaven Temple done. Yeah, like I said, I'd really recommend trying to slightly optimize the dialogue skipping there. It's really dull and boring if you don't, to be honest. We're into a bit of a boring section of the run. We're going to have the Alger in one fight, and then after that, it's just a bunch of dialogue sections. And then the absolutely infamous council. Oh, we have to try our absolute hardest not to die of boredom.
You are ready to learn. With all three words to Master Wolfgang. Stand between us, we would spare you. You can withstand the unbridled voice. Where did you learn of that? They have always... Have you learned nothing from us? No. But heed my warning. No, it is... We do not regret this loss. Only Pasternax. You weren't... But, thanks... He lives and he speaks to us only those whose... Dovahkiin. Follow me.
I wait here so the Greybeards go outside and They cast all of the clear spies, like shouts on the ground, so that I can learn them.
Who are you? Tell me. Not until, by long tradition, the elders hear my doom. Feel it in your bones. Match it. I have spoken. The Rotmular waits. A gift. Go! So, what?
Probably should have explained that. So this is only like 3 seconds quicker, but if you once you learn the Word of Fire, if you just like unlock it yourself with a Dragon Soul, it's quicker than waiting for Pathfinders to teach it to you.
So, what
But I
would
mean,
you ask?
like 5 seconds at most.
Would not come close. Your our Hadrime, Drem, or prove some. Perhaps this were pa, ro, even though, but you.
I also speed up this entire section, and also the Greybeard section, because it's just dialogue. Plus the next cutscene as well.
Which is why, if you could learn Dragonrend.
Also make a save here. This cutscene's buggy, it can crash, so it's good to have a save so you don't lose any progress. If someone was to crash at this point, you know, and load a save, then as a verifier, I'd really have no kind of problem with that. I understand how buggy this game could be and, you know, how often it can crash.
Today, but I honor you be restored. Krieg Wolf Akri.
Hakon! A glorious day, is it not? What else is there?
If Aldun does not rise to our challenge,
You worry too much, brother. Victory will be ours.
we've staked everything on this plan.
He will come. He cannot ignore.
Guarded him well.
Why should he
For if
fear
he's
us?
kin to
Even
fall into
now,
my blade
stood
alone,
against Alduin himself. Called
they
sword.
did not
Here.
have Dragonland. Once we
You
bring
do
him
not
down, I...
understand. Alduin
had
cannot be slain like a lesser dragon. He is beyond our strength. I never agreed.
No,
If you are
we'll
right,
deal with Aldun ourselves.
We shall see soon enough. Alduin approaches.
Tamodis Him
Let go and watch from Sovngarde. If I die today, it will never be fair for the first time, worm. Skyrim will be free!
So yeah, she gets bodied. So is this guy.
Alduin on the wing. Sister Hawk, grant us your sacred royalty to make this conflict word with older bones than your own. You are banished. And we shall Yes, the World Eater is gone. May the spirits
So,
of
the
mercy
Aldrin
on
one
our
fight.
souls.
This upcoming fight's probably the, not hardest, but like, maybe least consistent or weirdest part of the run. I cast Bound Bow, we're also going to favourite Dragonrend and Clear Skies, which are the two shouts we need. I cast Dragonrend on him immediately, and I'm going to buff with Berserker's Rage and also the Potion of True Shot that we got in Fëanor's house earlier. Stand in this pretty specific position, and I can shoot through this gap here when Aldrin lands. And if Aldrin attacks you from here, he shouldn't damage you. Like once I had some really weird thing happen and he damaged me. It was on a live run as well, so like really annoying. But yeah, you should just be able to shoot him, and then drag and rend him every now and then to keep him on the ground. I do it at the slow there, so he flies, but it's fine. It's best to keep just drag and rending him while he's on the ground, and he should stay aggro to our points mostly. Yeah, if he walks away like this, do not move from the position you're in. Just wait until the Dragon Rend runs out, and then Dragon Rend him as soon as he flies. But whatever you do, do not leave this position, unless he casts the Meteor Shower. Yeah, in the case he does cast it, he doesn't here, so I can't demonstrate it, but you want to run to the right and stand by this rock, and shimmy back and forth to avoid any meteors while you're looking upwards. You can, like, avoid nearly all of them doing that based on your own reaction, but sometimes you're going to get really unlucky. Like, that's kind of just a fact of the run. But since this fight is so quick, usually he's not even going to cast the Meteor Shower even once. Yeah, like, we just do so much damage with all these buffs. I speed up the game at this point. Adrian just yaps for a while about something I don't even know. Okay, the next, like, I don't even know, 10 minutes maybe, or 15 minutes is all just, like, dialogue sections. Pretty boring. I'm probably not gonna commentate over, like, any of this. There's, like, well, there's, like, nothing to say for the purpose of the tutorial. You just, you know, speed up the game when you're indoors and try not to die of boredom.
You've done by my Allah. We are honored to have you as Thane of our city, Dragonborn. I must. What do you want me to let it all do? Now what's this none? I want to. Oh, do you? No. But get. If the Greybeards were willing to host a peace council.
The Jarl has appointed me to be honored to.
Aldwin? I feared as much. We are not warriors. You misunderstand our... I see. Pardon, even the great... We will see if they still remember breath and force.
Not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. What could it mean?
The road to Whiterun's not safe these days.
Do you have some read? Right. One of the prisoners.
South of Dragonbridge.
Why don't you?
Can't find a trace of them.
Besides, I'm sure your
telling
being
you,
imprisoned was
Ulfric's
all a
plan-
terrible. Speak with Lex under Greybeards. Why? There's nothing. They are. My job is to quell. You. Yes, fine.
That's not
I'll
what my
come.
scouts report, sir.
Everything all right?
the Jarl. Smart one.
Alfred won't give us a straight answer. He's a true Nord. I remember you. Good. Don't be so
Speak.
sure of that.
It's about time they turn. I have the.
From Solitude. The
I
Empire's
can't.
putting a great
Good.
deal of pressure on
I
White
doubt
Hunt.
the Empire. Yes. And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us,
I should not have agreed, but regrets are pointless. Just here we are. Warriors. Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we
No.
all come here
You
in the
insult
spirit
us
of...
by bringing your chief Talisman?
Take long.
here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that
She's
nothing
part
is
of
agreed
the
to here
Imperial
that violates
delegation.
the terms of the
You
White
can't
Road
dictate who
Concord
I bring
Pact.
If
to
we
this
have to
council.
negotiate the terms of the
Perhaps
negotiation,
this would be a good
we will
time
never get anywhere.
to get the Dragonborn's
To
input.
think that I would sit down at the same.
Here we are at the
Glad we agree on
infamous
this.
Very well, Ulfric.
Peace Council session.
The Thalmor will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim.
It's annoying because, like, you still have to click dialogue options, so you can't just leave and do something else.
I respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar. Sorry.
I'm honestly kind of tempted to make like an auto-clicker script that just like clicks where the dialogue pops up.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council. There's nothing else to deal with the Dragon Menace. Unless the Empire is finally ready to
I
renounce.
knew he wouldn't be able to resist.
People of Skyrim. Dragonborn I consider even deal with the dragon. The Empire.
Are you done?
Generous gesture.
Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we
Yes,
get down to
let's
this?
get
Are
this
we
over
ready
with.
to proceed? Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here
I ask that
at the
you all
Dragonborn's
respect the
request.
spirit
of High Hrothgar. Do your best. Who would like
begin
to
the
open
process of achieving
Yes,
a lasting
let's
peace.
get down. We want control of Markarth. That's our
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using
And
this
I'm pretty
challenge
sure all
as
of the
answer
dialogue
to
options
suspicion
I
can't be
click
taken
here are the
as
quickest
serious.
possible.
thought
I mean, I really hope so, but like, I don't know. I've only watched like this. Yeah, I'm not sure if they are the quickest, to be honest.
Does not
Yes, that'd be entirely out of character.
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that traitor?
First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea.
You are a traitor to the Empire
and deserve
but
a
I at
traitor's
least
death.
will negotiate.
Since we're all here at your... The rift would help secure our communications with Cyrodiil.
The Dragonborn has spoken,
Ulfric's southern
Tullius.
flank.
Now we'll see if there's anything behind your
You
talk.
disappoint me, Dragonborn. I accepted your invitation on trust in your good name.
I can see now
But
that
it
this
seems
is
you
not.
intend to
I
face
know
you,
you.
Ulfric. If I hand over Markarth,
You'll
you'll
never
be ready with
defeat
the
the
Empire, and you know it. But you're willing to sacrifice. Soon enough, I'll have you back under the selfish, and this time there won't
As
be any
always,
dragon to
The
save you.
Empire's
Stop!
fine words
Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreement? Nothing. While the
Is
fate
he
of
with
the
you,
land hangs in the balance.
If so, I advise you to tell him
He
to
is
watch
with,
his
and I
tongue.
advise you both to listen to what he has to
Don't
say.
you understand the
before you do
danger?
anything
Don't you
rash.
understand what the return of the dragons means? The World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon
If this truce
will
has
help
gone
the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace. We both gain. Now, back to the matter. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Markarth.
Bones, where will these demands end?
We want compensation for the massacre at
You
Carthage.
slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such
My
things.
men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation for your
So,
guts.
Dragonborn, well said.
What do you say?
For once you'll actually pay for your crimes. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get.
Seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces. Jarl Igmund will step down. Stormcloaks will withdraw from the rift, will become allowing him Jarl. Leila Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Stormcloaks will pay appropriate compensation for the massacre at Carthwaite. You both agree to
The
this?
sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperialists hold these terms to your liking.
God, both sides are honestly so annoying.
Nothing to say to that. General,
I wish neither side would win the Civil War.
I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Can live with these terms, yes. For a temporary. After that, until the dragon menace is dealt reckoning.
Come on, Galmar. We have a lot
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price.
I'm afraid there's a problem. The blade. Justice demands that he... And I'm cross-referencing... By calling the dragon... He's not... I think it's very likely...
Okay, so this is where we are going to call Odovig. That's what... what's his name? Esbern is giving us the shout for. This is how we get to the final dungeon before Solengard. Speed up the game when I'm inside her.
We're ready, as I promised. My men know what to do.
Are they reforming the dawn?
So use the shout. The cooldown for the shout's going to go away as soon as the quest activates, and you're going to be able to Dragon Rend him. And essentially what I do is I time this Dragon Rend at the point where Odovig is picking up the Whiterun Guard. It's very easy to do. You just wait for him to be sweeping down. And the hitbox for like Dragon Rend's massive, so hard to miss. Dragon Rend once more while he's landing. Then sneak over here. You should go back into like undetected. Then one more Dragon Rend and he should start approaching you.
Many among ourselves. Once he has been lost of well, only of course I could fly you there, but not like this.
Yep, so open the restraints and then wait. This is the quickest way. Honestly, what the hell is he doing here? I don't know. I've never seen this before, but I just wait here. That's what it's meant to look like. Okay, so at this point there is a Draugr here and a Draugr here. Realistically, I think it's best just to pull out your weapon and kill these guys. I don't. It's not necessary to. You can just go invis. But like, if you mess up the parkour really badly, maybe they're going to spot you. And honestly, it's a pretty good example here, because like, I do terribly at the start of this. Like, I just cannot get on the rock. So this is maybe why you want to kill the Draugr. I don't kill them because they juke my arrows like crazy and I hate it. But yeah, once you're on top of this rock, you can wait again and re-invis. I do it a bit early here. I would wait until your invis is almost run out and then do it. Just so you have as much time invisible again as possible. Like, yeah, at this point onwards, I can't wait because there's enemies around. And I do not have a lot of invis left here, so I did not do this very well. I should have waited longer before I used my invis again. Like, I should have waited just as my invis was running out initially. But I still have enough time here. Also, I mean, that's why we have the extra invisibility potion, right? We can just pop it here if we run out. But we're okay. I'm going to use a combination of sprinting and whirlwind sprint to run around in Southern Guard. But be very careful with whirlwind sprint. If you do it on too much of an incline, or, God forbid, like a cliff, you're going to take full damage, and that's going to be very depressing for your damageless run, honestly, at this point. So yeah, just be careful where you use it. This jump scared the hell out of me. You just shoots him twice. He's not going to see you. I don't use whirlwind sprint on the bridge here, but that's just because I'm a coward. You absolutely should. I speed up while I'm inside her, the game.
At long last,
And I basically just exit and enter the room until the NPCs do what I want, which is run to where they need to fight Alduin. Need to get the whole gang together for the fight. And I'm just doing this until I don't see the NPCs anymore. At that point I know they're pretty much path where they need to be. And yeah, this is the quickest way to do it. Okay, so final boss battle. We just need to use Clear Skies a bunch of times, there's a bit of dialogue, and then we'll get right into it. And the final boss battle, much easier than Alduin 1. Well, not easier, but like there's less that can go wrong than Alduin 1. And the main nice thing is, if you cast Meteor Shower, you have a safe spot where they can't hit you, whereas there's no safe spot in the first Alduin fight. So, I cast Bow at the start of the fight. I run to the safe spot. The safe spot is essentially just running into the wall at this angle. The Meteor Shower shouldn't be able to hit you like this. I think the only way that you could get hit is technically if Alduin's fire somehow clipped through the rock. I cast Clear Skies there because at the start of the fight he uses Meteor Shower, so just to get rid of that. And then I've equipped Dragon Rend, I'm just waiting for Alduin to stop flying around. Which he usually does a lot quicker than this. But once he does, you can Dragon Rend him. I mean, you can while he's moving, but I'm too bad. character makes a sound as if he got hit there. He doesn't, but like he does when you use Meteor Shower. It's really weird. Okay, and finally he stops, so we can Dragon Rend him. Pop Berserk's Rage. And then we basically just sit at the edge of this rock where he can't attack us. He's going to aggro to the other NPCs anyway. And then we just chain stun him on the ground with Dragon Realm while firing arrows at him. He's going to die really quickly. Okay, and then when you kill him, he's going to cast Meteor Shower one more time, so run to the safe spot. This Meteor Shower just ends. So you can run out at this point, it's safe. I usually run out so I can watch him die. And that's it. That's the Skyrim any percent hitless run. Yeah, this route is pretty nice at this point. Also, yeah, just as a note, like, once this quest is completed, the run is over. Like, there's no, you know, big cutscene at the end saying these are the credits for Skyrim. Like, this is the end of the main quest. So yeah, that's the any percent no hit. Yeah, I think this route's decently optimized at this point. I reckon there's still quite a lot of strategies that we haven't discovered and ways to make the run faster and even safer as well. But yeah. Do you guys have any more questions or like anything that you think could be better out the run? Just let me know. Join me on the Team Hitless community for Skyrim. It would be great to see more people doing the Skyrim run. I think this game has like a lot of potential, you know, lots of different runs that can be done in this game, different weapon restrictions, different quests as well. Yeah, and I think this run's very fun and not too stressful as well, to be fair. I think it's pretty safe using all of these invis strategies. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Have a nice day.